Bug spray, never used it. 40% DEET, but I never got it out a single time the entire time I was in the Smokies, which is really surprising. And there were several times where the bugs were really annoying, and they kept flying around, especially at Site 26 and at Derrick Knob Shelter, but they didn't bite. And I probably only got bit by a mosquito or something like that maybe 5 times, certainly not more than 10 times the entire time I was there. So it was worth it not to have all that nasty stuff on me. These are little extra pre-filters for the water filter that we'll get to just as now. Let's pull it up. Here's the Aquamira Frontier Pro. These little pre-filters go right here. But as I said already, I never used this filter, but I had it in case I needed it, and the extra pre-filters in case I actually used it. Some earplugs. Apparently I've lost one. Or it didn't come out, but in case I actually had noisy neighbors in the shelter. So some earplugs. Another extra pen. After I was at Siler's Bald, somehow I had left this pocket partially open, and I had 2 pens in there, in case one had gone bad or anything. And somehow the 2 longest, hardest objects to get out of there both fell out. So when I went back to my car, I got 2 more pens, and I made sure I only put 1 in there and 1 somewhere else. So, but yeah, there was another pen in there. Medication. The zip tie I actually found on the ground, and this is some of the trash that I picked up from other people, but since it wasn't used, I figure, heck, you never know, you might need one every now and then, so I just kept it. Lotrimin antifungal. Oh, there's my other. Actually, I never used it, and that was in case you get the jock itch or foot itch, athlete's foot, that kind of stuff. But I never used that. Lip balm. I think that's also got some SPF stuff on it, but SPF 15. Never used it. And headlamp. Use this at night, obviously. It's got 4 different settings. I actually prefer the one that I got my son. It's simpler, the switch-wise, because it's just a slide switch. You either have a red light or you have the spotlight. But I don't like the spotlight. I wish it was the wide beam light. So that's why I went ahead and still took the one that I had gotten for me with the 4 different options. Even though I only used 2 of them, I'd either use the red light or the wide beam light. But very handy, of course. So that was all that was in this little ditty bag here. My bottled heat, or fuel for my stove. Still relatively full, since I didn't, about half full. First aid kit, which now has some larger band-aids. I'll probably take out these tweezers. You know, really I don't know that I'd ever use them, but they came with the original kit, and I just left them there. The only thing I had originally added to the kit was some ibuprofen, just in case I had gotten a sprain of some sort or really was sore muscle-wise. I never actually used any. It also, as you can potentially see there, has a cold pack in it. That was also if I sprained my ankle or whatever, or if anybody else I ran across needed it. You know, I'm out there to help other people too if necessary. So latex gloves. Does not have one of those I forget what they call them, but you know, the mouth-to-mouth little mask thing, the lightweight version of that. Doesn't contain that. But hopefully you won't run into anything that expensive. Bible, of course, with the little notebook. and Ziploc. Rain poncho. The one I originally had was like 24 or 25 ounces, and now I'm going, holy cow, I had no idea it was that heavy. You know, it was just the one that I've always carried in my car. So I just ran over to Walmart, and luckily the ones they have were a third that. This is only 8 ounces, or like 8.5 or so, something like that. So, rain poncho, and on my map. Should be it. Nope, nope. I also took my Kelly trip tees, that line that I gotten for my guy lines on my tent. I've never switched out the guy lines on the tent, but I figured, well, you know, you never can have too much twine or rope, so, and it's so light that and small that I may as well take it just in case I'd ever need it for something like hanging my food bag or whatever. But so I had that also. But anyway, yeah, my maps. Yeah, I printed out a bunch of maps, and I also had you know, my rough schedule, permit number, my food schedule, you know, what I plan to eat for each meal. I'd already had it bagged up in separate plastic bags, so whenever I got to my car, all I have to do is pick up the next plastic bag, throw it into my food bag. That's my backcountry camping permits that I needed. And the true trail map. These maps contain the trails also, and more topographical information, so these are actually more detailed, but this is the official park trail map. Should be it for that pocket. This is my food bag, which now is basically empty. I'd also taken along one of the origami bowls that I've got. You know, just kind of snaps together. I actually never did use it, but and you just create yourself your little bowl here. And then when you're done, you can just unfold it and lick it, and you're ready to go. No point in, no cleanup necessary, really. But I never used that. I always ate out of the freezer bags, or the packet gourmet stuff that I took with me came with bags that you could cook in. So I had that in there partially to have a nice flat side, and so I could stick my trash bag up against on the outside of it, and I had my Ziploc bags, the freezer bags that I cooked in. I still have several left since I didn't eat all that much. So those were on that side of it. The trash bag was on the other side of it. This was actually a remnant from that one trip that I took with Sydney back in May. At that time we did cook out of the cook pot, so this is what we used to clean out the cook pot, so it now had food smell on it. So I figured, well, I'd already used it and it already smelled like food, so I'd just take it along with me in case I needed it. I never used it. My toothbrush and toothpaste, and my iced teaspoon is what I used to eat out of. Actually, I'd really like to find something a little bit longer and a little bit bigger to make it easier to eat, but it sufficed. I got by with it. And of course, you know, then the normal food bag, this sill nylon bag that you just fold down and end up snapping like this. I'd actually snap this part through the carabiner and then hang her up. So that's that.